Somewhat counter-initiatively, farting has a spiritual side, mechanism, a dualistic religion, popular in late antiquity that at one time counted St. Augustine among its members, actually held that farts were the act of freeing divine light from the body. The only world religion to have believed the redemptive power of farts, but they weren't the only ancient group to give the phenomenon a great deal of thought. In addition to laying the foundations of trigonometry, the philosopher was concerned that a person might fart out his or her soul. A classicist Andrew observed this can explain why they steered clear of beans, given the soul was breath and the fart of breath. The explanation makes a lot of sense. The ancient fear of farting is justified when we consider the surprising number of the stories, that is more than none, about wars provoked by farts. According to the Greek historian, a fart set off a chain of events that led to a revolt against King Apries of Egypt. The repercussions were even worse in first century Jerusalem. The historian tells us that an irrelevant Roman soldier lowered his pants, bent over, and spoke such words as you might expect from such a posture. The incident took place shortly before the Passover and caused a riot that led to the deaths of 10,000 people. But it's not all downside. Dr. Jessica, a historian of science at the university, told them that some doctors connected farting to sex. In fact, Galen sometimes refers to flatulent or windy foods. Farting has often held a more somber significance. St. Augustine offhandedly refers to people who could produce odorless musical sounds like singing from their butts, but he seems to have been in the minority, as Professor Valerie Allen has noted in her book on farting, language and laughter in the Middle Ages. Most medieval saw farting as the product of decomposition, and thus as the mark of death. Interestingly, farting has been humorous for longer than it has been spiritualized. Arguably, the oldest joke in the world is a fart joke. In many cases, fart jokes have been deemed too scandalous for public consumption. The stories that hinged on farting in 1001 Nights were unexpunged from all 19th century English translations except that of Richard Burton. Mark Twain's period 1601 was the first published anonymously, in part because of the farting, and in 2014, Columbia Pictures delayed the release of the film The Interview, allegedly because of its portrayal of the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un farting. Across space and time, farting has been the source of embarrassment, especially to those of elevated social status. But the perils of holding in one's farts were well known. Even before Dr. Oz told Oprah that people should break farts in public for health reasons. In his bio of the emperor, the Roman writer records that Claudius intended to publish flatulence upon hearing a person whose modesty, when under restraint, had nearly cost him his life. Strangely, though, traced in her belief, medical history of farting, the causes of excessive farts evaded medical science for the millennium as late as 1975. Levitt could remark, there is no data available to prove excessive farts is actually caused by the presence of excessive intestinal gas. It was only when Levitt conducted an experiment pumping the gas into patients using their butthole that he noted that people farted at the same rate that they were filled with gas. Curiously, it was not until 1998 that he proposed a methodologically for distinguishing between excess gas caused by eating too much air and flatulence that resulted from process that took place in the gut of doom. The difficulty regulating gas does have a silver lining. Whatever their cultural impact, farts continue to languish at the bottom of socially acceptable of bodily sounds. Burps might elect some embarrassment, but hiccups tend to only amuse. Disease-spreading sneezes can be adorable, and even coughs are acceptable if covered by a sleeve or hand. But there has yet to be social rehabilitation for the lonely fart, even though scientists claim that the average person farts 14 times a day. Stay tuned for more videos. See you, folks!